Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like Somee.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review. Available for Android and iOS devices. bravocoin.com. CoinFlip, the world's best Bitcoin ATM. Better service, better fees. Better visit coinflip.tech today. Shout out to the sponsors. All right, we're live again. So I did a podcast earlier, and I owed one to this bro here because I stood him up, and he trolled his way into my heart. So I decided we're going to do two podcasts today to make sure we make up for the misconnected podcast I should have done when he booked it. So here we are. I'm with a complete fucking stranger. I have no clue who this dude is. Shout out to the bro here, though. Merge from the project. And we're going to be talking about Merge and Escrow for services and shit. I was checking out the website right before the podcast. And I thought it was pretty interesting. I still don't get it. It almost sounds like free shit, and it's like, how do I get free stuff? But I'm sure we're gonna get into that. First off, though, for my audience, again, he did troll his way into my heart, so show some love. Explain yourself. Who are you? Introduce yourself to the audience.
Hey, my name is DFW. I'm with Project Merge, and I appreciate Ken, your time and your lovely audience. And I've been trolling you for a while, but hey, that's the way we.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's how we show love in crypto, man. I'm from Philly, so I got thick skin, and if you ain't cutting deep enough, you must not love me enough. So I appreciate you going through the efforts to troll, coming into the live streams and everything. So, so let's get into Merge a little bit. What is Merge?
Well, Merge is a group of people that basically got totally hosed on masternodes, and this was back last year, April, May, June.
That's got to be a shit ton of people.
Oh fuck! We burned over 100 communities, 100 masternodes from 100 communities. 15 billion shitcoins, proof of burn, in over 10,000 transaction. 2 million coins, merge coins, were distributed at that time.
Oh wait, so people had to burn other coins and prove that they burned those coins in order to receive merge?
That's exactly right.
That's fucked up. I love that.
It was an airdrop that basically proved that you burned those coins, and once you burned those coins, we gave you a ratio of coins in merge on the merge chain.
Oh, I like that. That's Inception. That's inceptive. I love it. That's really interesting. Way to redeem people who have kind of fell victim to a class of projects like these masternode pop-ups. Like, people think of the ICO scams, but people don't realize masternode scams were just as prevalent.
We got some hate, man, when we actually introduced ourselves in some of these communities. The project manager or the,
of course, you're telling people to murder their coins. That's hilarious, though.
Yeah, it was fun times. We I don't know if you guys out there know.
It's almost like a Boston Tea Party type of an event. That's so funny.
Masternodes were shit back then, and I tell you, those nodes, man, they went forking left and right constantly.
Yeah.
And we had over a 3-month period of time, we had 100 masternodes that we were running the nodes in order to keep them synced and adding nodes to keep them synced, and it was just it was crazy times. That's how we introduced ourselves. That's how we showed the community some love.
That's an interesting way to bring something into fruition through a concept of a proof of burn of multiple different types of currencies, and then reimburse with like a sort of a proof of burn certificate, which is merge. So what's like the utility behind merge, since people did burn other tokens, right, that had masternode potentials and received this merge for doing it? What's the use case now for these merge coins that they've been left with?
So what I call it is a reverse interest. Everybody knows that if you go to the bank and you get a loan, you have to pay back the principal plus the interest, and you're a slave to that loan until it's paid. Well, Merge actually uses the inflation of the chain every 1 minute. It's a 1 minute chain. X number of current, X number of coins get produced by the chain for both the master nodes and also for the stakers. And so that's inflation, and that's inflation on the chain. So we're actually using we're capturing those coins. So someone will put those coins in an escrow, and the person that we control the escrow, and then we control the escrow, we basically are the beneficiary of the rewards on the chain. So then we use those rewards to pay the service provider. So the client can get a service, whether it be hosting, whether it be a toolbox, an explorer. Things generally now are considered blockchain products that we have. And what we do is we host them for free, quote unquote, air quotes, right? So what they do is they take, let's say, 10,000 coins, and they send them into an escrow account, and then we gain the rewards on on those 10,000 coins, and that's how we pay the service provider to host
Now, is that
that service.
sustainable though? Like, what if is there a way to protect volatility or something in that effect, or where the
Yeah,
services may outweigh the actual escrow reward, and you may be digging a hole.
it's like any economy, everything basically balances itself, meaning that as the rewards, because more, let's say more master nodes comes on our chain, so the rewards has to be diluted by the number of master nodes that are on the chain. So you get, instead of staking or getting rewards every twice a day, you only get it once a day because there's more master nodes on the chain. So therefore the ROI goes down. And the way that basically gets compensated is the next time the service provider basically says, hey, 10,000 coins wasn't enough, I need 12,000 coins now. So it actually gets adjusted as the more people come onto the more coins are staked on the chain, the basically the rewards go down because of dilution, and then the service provider asks for more coins to basically host that particular service.
Interesting concept for a
So
wow.
it's reversed interest. It's literally what you're doing is you're going to the bank now, and you're the bank,
So I could.
Merge's
So
bank,
you're making
and
me think that businesses may be doing this internally eventually with like themselves. Like Netflix will just use Netflix coin to basically do the same thing. Because I'm seeing, and I've been saying this a lot. Netflix is going to pay me to watch Netflix soon. They are not going to want my money coming very soon. They will want to give me something for watching Netflix, and this seems like right up the alley. And I didn't even think about that. That is
it could go even extending past that. Let's say, for instance, a guy has a crane, another guy wants to build a building. The guy basically that has a crane says, "Hey, give me 1 million merge, and I'll loan you the crane for 3 months." At the end of 3 months, basically the guy gives back the crane, the dude gives back the 1 million merge, and the guy that borrowed that got the 1 million merge for the 3 months, he got all the rewards from staking or master noding those coins on the chain. So the
hmm.
chain is actually the reward mechanism for holding those coins. And for us, the more people that hold these coins on as to get the rewards, the better it is, because they're not liquid they're not liquid on the exchange. Basically, just people dumping on the exchange the coins. You don't want that. You want
Yeah, I
people to
mean,
lock
I've
those
I've
coins.
independently kind of done this with masternodes. Like Divi Project has a masternode, and with some of the rewards, I can just pay for my Netflix and things like that with the rewards, because I turn the rewards right into Bitcoin, turn that Bitcoin right into cash, send it over to Netflix, and now I have one masternode that pays for Netflix forever. Because the
Yep.
reward's always going to be a Netflix fee. I mean, I'm always going to get at least my Netflix membership monthly out of that masternode.
That's exactly right. So we're going to be the hub, and we've got different developers that come to our platform, and they said, "Hey, I got an idea. I want to do a trading bot." And they said, yeah, "Great, do the trading bot." We're going to be the security, meaning we've got a corporation in Wyoming where custody of coins is that's
Yeah,
they look
smart
at
to go with
that.
Wyoming for sure. I think they just
Absolutely.
passed a law where they legally won't even be able to ask for your public and private keys and shit. So shout out to Wyoming.
Wyoming, I've already the legislator there is an attorney, and I've already got him in my pockets, quote unquote. Yeah. So we've got a retainer on him, and so the security will be with the company and custody of those coins. So when you have them in escrow. In essence, the contract is valid until the two parties basically cancel out the contract. When the
Or
two
volatility meets inequality, and then the contract's canceled, services are rendered, whatever, and then the funds are reissued.
That's exactly
Wow.
correct. That is exactly. It's a whole nother way of looking at the way that the chain can
Could you
actually
imagine
secure
holding 10
inflation.
Nike stocks and every month you get a pair of Nike shoes? That's like exactly what I want when I look at like the stock market and shit. Like I want that return to be able to do like, have your money, have it be money, be volatile, do what it's doing and also work for you.
And now inflation is going to the government. Government just prints money as it needs it, and that inflation is going against all of us. And basically, we're dealing with the inflation and not reaping its benefit. And the government's reaping the benefit because they're just printing money, keep printing money, like the blockchain keeps printing money, keeps printing coins. But now we're actually using that inflation of the chain to basically produce this service-driven economy, and it's a complete perfect tokenization, because now they can't say it's a security because it's literally a token that is being used for services.
Is there a service that I could utilize right now today if I was to do anything with, say, a couple merge, put it up in an escrow, get services from somebody, and then
Yes.
be able to cancel that, get the merge back? And is there a way to do all this today?
Yes. So, for instance, in your case, we could actually host an internet radio that you could replay your different episodes, and have that on a 24/7 radio station. We would host it, and you would pay nothing. When you cancel the service, you don't want the radio station anymore. You get all your merge back. And you're done. And we have an onboarding where you can use fiat currency because we're actually providing a service uh, via the credit card exemptions. We are providing a service. That service is terminated. You get all your tokens back. But the service provider, if you decide to keep that service, the service provider has your coin, so that contract
Hmm.
lives on beyond.
What level of anonymity is there between me, you, and the service provider? Do they know, like, Ken Bozak is hosting this, or is it Merge is hosting this, and then, Merge is working with me?
Merge is working with you 100% because we wanted to provide security or scammery. We don't know any scammery amongst what's going on. I mean, we come from a community where we got scammed from the first. So day one, anything we do, that we have that front and center in mind, is that the 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 client should not be scammed, whether it be scammed of the coins, whether it should be, we pay actually the rewards that we get from escrowing those coins. We pay those directly to the provider, so they have no reason to have any communication, contact, or so forth with you. And if they decide that, hey, we'll do it on the side. Well, what's your guarantee that they won't just take your coins and say, give you the middle finger? By doing it through a corporation, by an LLC, where we have custody, we have control, and it's all legit. We control the scammery going on because we're the ones that are in charge of the coins. Now,
Yeah, I've had
yeah,
issues where I've paid for services for platforms, and for some reason, against their terms and services, they canceled my contract, but then they kept the fucking funds, too.
yep. Yep, they a lot of what is that called? There was actually a hosting of VPS current recently, where 20 different companies all tied to one service center, one VPS that was providing for VPS. They would do 1 year contracts, and the next thing you know, they were gone, and
Right, the
everybody's money was
minimum
gone.
was a 1 year contract, right? I do
Yep,
remember hearing
exactly.
about this. And that's fucking gym memberships and shit. Man, don't even get me started. I would love to have an escrow as a service for gym memberships.
If we actually build the community, we can go to a gym and say, hey, we know what the guarantee is on this. We know that the chain is going to basically inflate, and we know the rewards on 10,000, 100,000 coins, and we can guarantee the actual business and just sell those rewards on the exchange. and that basically pays for the gym membership.
So
Now on the
this is
flip
sort of
side,
like a loyalty rewards program built around a masternode system or economy. Like I was thinking about asking a question. I answered it basically in my head while you were talking. But how would you approach a business about incorporating this into their current models?
we'd do is we'll bulk it. Like anything that says hey, we'll bring 100 customers to you. What's the price? And then we'll basically guarantee that by setting the merge escrow amount for the service, and so we will have a buffer, and so we will renegotiate after a certain amount of time. See, that's another nice thing is that we had a pre-mine of 10 million coins, and so we have some security as to how we can control if things go if a little negative, positive. The buffer is basically ours to create. And as long as you and I have 30 years worth of business experience, as long as you know what your buffer is and you realize that you can buffer against those particular negatives.
I
We
have a
actually have
feeling
a
that this will be a highlight key for the response to this question, and being able to have that buffer is important, and probably why so it is centralized. But McLovin in the chat says that this sounds like a centralized system. It says more like a centralized company using a decentralized system.
You know, we are using a decentralized blockchain to to control or manipulate or to validate an inflation that is ongoing on a decentralized chain, to take advantage of that and to create services that use that inflation of that decentralized chain, because we don't control the master nodes. If today we have currently 900 master nodes on our chain, if tomorrow we have 1,500, well, we're going to have to scramble and figure out how are we going to get the rewards that we need in order to basically pay for the service providers and so forth. So that's a business, a centralized business, which it is, and we are LLC in Wyoming, to try to use a decentralized coin that we know the standardization of the inflation that's going on that chain, and using that to create services around that chain.
Like you mentioned, with having an influx of master nodes, there is always a potential of malicious attacks, of 51% attacks, and things to that effect. Well, like, what are some of your plans? That you have any plans for the potential of something like that happening, where some group of people could come in, take a bunch of master nodes, and then decide to do kind of like the opposite, right, of contributing to the services.
Well, our chain is based off Pivx. The
Shout
actual
out to
the
Pivx,
guy
cool, cool.
the guy that actually was one of the founders, a coin server, is actually the server, the host for the masternode provider. And one of the actual programmers is one of the programmers that actually programmed, was one of the got kicked out of Privix, but that's not hard to do. But he is, so as far as technical, if we need to say, hey, we need from the foundation or from the corporation, we need 5 million coins in order to secure the network by either staking or adding master nodes. Hey, coin server, let's throw those master nodes. Let's make sure that we don't go under that threshold of 51% for attack.
Okay, okay. Damn, sounds like you've been in the space a while. How ago did you get into crypto and Bitcoin? When did you fall down
Uh,
the rabbit? Wait, how did you even fall down the rabbit hole? I want to say RuneScape or Silk Road, any kind of background, or like, how did you get into this?
Man, it's kind of blurry. Back in 2014, I went to an ATM and started this digital money, and I've never had a problem with that. I've never thought that anything that is not tangible is of value. So a lot of people have a problem. I'm an electrical engineer, so in theory, we calculate electrons all the time. So in essence, I never had a problem with it, as long as it was secure, with the SHA-256 and the elliptical curve calculations, and how you did hashing and so forth. I understood it. I'm an engineer in mind. So when I put $250 in the ATM machine and got a QR code crypto into my wallet, and it showed up in my wallet. And I said, this is fucking awesome. I knew right there I was hooked, because it was the first time that I could take fiat money, which I knew the Fed, is the Fed really the Fed? Who controls the Fed? I mean,
Right.
it's definitely not you and me. The Fed is controlled by these oligarchies that have been around since, the time of the.
Yeah, the misnomer of it being called the Federal Reserve also leads people to believe that it has a part of the federal body of government, and it is not. It is an independent business that prints money like McDonald's prints burgers.
So put a foil thing on my hat, but I'm a truther. I'm sorry. I'll denounce myself right now. I think enough evidence has been out there with engineers, with the architectural engineers, basically denouncing it. So my intuition of fiat and what it's done for everybody that saves their hard-earned money, and they save $1, and that dollar can buy a loaf of bread today, and then when they retire, that dollar that they saved might have gained might have been $2, but the inflation was $5. They're fucking us, man. They're fucking us left and right. So when you actually had Bitcoin, where we know the inflation, and that's what's so beautiful about merge, is we know the inflation. We know the inflation of Bitcoin. We know the inflation of merge. We know the inflation of Litecoin. So we are accepting that, and we know that if the flow to the flow ratio is there, we know we can offset the inflation, and
Did
that's
you see
what.
my last podcast guest with Zap? We were talking about bonding curves and things to that effect.
I did not. I trolled you for a little bit, but
It was right before this podcast, and I feel like, damn, I wish you were on with them because linking something like this to a bonding curve version of like a stable coin, because you can predict the inflation, probably adds more stability to the whole environment.
and things of that's where this whole, when it's something currency that is liquid, that it's digital, it puts a whole new spin on the way that it can be manipulated and stabilized and so forth. Whereas when you're dealing with banks, and you have to send a transfer from one bank to other in order to stabilize funds and so forth, dude, it's archaic, and it won't work. And of course Ripple will try to fuck us all, but
Good luck with that, because Swift has not left a good taste in anybody's mouth around the world. You think
nope.
that these banks around the world are going to get another dick in their mouth? No. No, they are not. XRP stands no chance when you're comparing it to Swift when you're looking at financial protocols, guys. Sorry to put that to you. Never going to happen.
From day one, I remember two, no, 5 sats, 10 sats on XRP, Ripple. It was amazing. I mean, I remember the fucking flying through the roof, and it just basically on Poloniex flying back down. And it was, I mean, these days we're in amazing days, and that's why I'm hooked on crypto 100%. And when I had the opportunity with these guys to actually conceptualize a community and give back to that community after they've been raped by these jackass project managers, or these guys that just saw ways of cloning coins and making a couple of bucks, it was my way of helping out. Then we had to figure out the tokenomics, coming from an engineer background and knowing what inflation is. Inflation is the key. And any chain that is making these coins up every minute, or every 5 minutes, or like Bitcoin every 10 minutes, that inflation is going to eat your ass. And unless you increase your market and grow your market, you will die, because that inflation, there's no way. I mean, 500% return on a coin. I mean, come on. Okay, that'll last a little while, but it won't last very long unless you have some kind of tokenomics to your product, to your chain.
McLovin had an awesome comment. He says Zuck is going to buy Libra into an important position. And yeah, Zuck, I think Libra has more of a chance than Ripple does when it comes to something to that effect. When you look at how many users Zuckerberg has on the things that, like Facebook, as opposed to how many people even know the word XRP or Ripple and understand it through two separate things. Yeah, Zuckerberg's in a way better position than Ripple will dream to ever be when it comes to a position like that with a globalized stable coin or some sort.
And with it being stable, it's
It'll probably be more of a corporate coin. I think there'll be new terminologies. There'll probably be like a new term for what like Libra coin is, as opposed to like what DAI is or USDC. There'll probably be like corporate coins instead of stable coins, or something to that effect. We'll have a new terminology to separate and distinguish
it's
the
gonna
two.
it's going to create liquidity for the whole market for everything that we can and do. And these chain swaps where they swap from one coin to another coin, it's going to
I
get
can
so
see
much
Libra being the
liquid.
oracle for sure. Like when you
Yeah,
talk about atomic swaps and DeFi's and DEXs, yeah,
yep.
that's something Facebook could easily build with their resources and reap the benefits of with micro transaction fees for developers inside the protocols.
I loved it. I mean, CDI, Ethereum. I love that application. Matter of fact, I've always been a hodler, and that was my way of actually. What I did is I bought in at 160 on Ethereum. I put it into a CDP or CDI, and basically what I was doing is I hodl, and I know that when the price goes down, I have a hard time letting go of my crypto. I love my crypto, but what I did is I kept on taking out of the contract, and when it dived and I was sleeping, it liquidated. And guess what? I was happy because I bought back at 134, I believe. And so the there's different ways of approaching finance, and I think that the digital mecca of what we're introducing to the world is just the beginning, just the scratch of the surface. If I do this escrow product today, it's going to be replicated. I guarantee it's going to be replicated, and it's going to be replicated in different ways, different aspects. And that's the beauty of crypto is that it opens the door that had never been opened before because the government was always in control.
Yep, and it sucks to say this as much as it feels great to say, and to say like you're first through the door on something like this. I haven't actually had a conversation about escrow as a service with anybody, and I've been to tons of events and things to that effect. But I feel like unfortunately the first actors on most things are usually set and cast aside. I remember like MySpace or fucking X, Y, and Z, AOL, and it's and I just say like to say like this is why I appreciate altcoins and projects in this space right now, because there's a really bad chance, like it's so slim, that you're gonna succeed in the industry you're striving for
Yep.
and not have some other industry come and basically fucking steal your entire model and do it,
Yeah,
because
I've actually talked to VCs, and one of the biggest struggles that any business has to do is when do I look for funding? When do I realize that the funding for what I want to do sees the opportunity? And it's always a challenge. And it's kind of like Uber. Uber literally was paying drivers $1,200 when they opened up a market to basically be on the clock, and they would do $500 worth of transactions, and Uber would actually pay them a guaranteed $1,200 because they needed to make sure that those
yeah, I
drivers
remember
were
that. It said if
available.
you did at least 200 rides a month, you would get like 2 grand or something, and they stuck true to their word.
And that thing is this: when you have a lot of money, you can do these kind of things, and it seize the moment. And when you have penetration within a market, and you did it right, then but the way I look at it is we have masternode hosting, we have DNS seed services, which a lot of people don't know what that is. It's kind of like when a node comes up online, it goes, hey, where is everybody? Because it's like, it's the internet. It's a big cloud. So the seeder actually gives it the IP addresses for all the IP addresses for the nodes that are available for that network.
Oh, cool.
A chain snapshot. Everybody basically, when you have a snapshot of a chain, you don't have to download the whole chain. You don't have to sync up the chain, and that could take days
You know how many
sometimes.
people don't realize the amount of money behind that? I'm waiting for IBM and Microsoft to become some of the world's largest snapshot like data analyst or something. Like, there's so much money in the Ethereum blockchain right now. If you have the entire
We
Ethereum
have it.
blockchain, yeah, dude, that's money. So much
We have it.
money.
We
And
have it.
people don't see the potential. But look, if you think searching for cat videos on Google is making Google billions, imagine these
They
transactions
do.
on the block, dude, bajillions.
So that's a service that we provide free of charge. You put it one time and then basically just keep rolling it. Block Explorer, we if you have a coin and you need another Block Explorer, whatever, we'll host that. The chain swap that I talked about, where we actually do proof of burn, where it can actually be your old chain swapping to your new chain. We will secure that, and we will do our LLC to make sure that it's basically we stand behind it.
And this would
Um,
help a lot with forking and shit like that too, because a lot of people have a lot of issues when things upgrade, fork, or whatever, and yeah, that could just deter a whole group of people out of your ecosystem.
We have a network monitoring utility which says, "Am I forked or not?" And it's
Yo,
so
oh,
easy.
that's so funny because how many people were mining on old chains like back when like Ethereum first forked and shit and like other blockchains? I remember those in like 2017, 18,
Dude, I've
people
done it.
realizing
I've
months
done it
later that they
months.
were
No,
on
I
the
haven't.
wrong, dude, yeah, because they just set it and forget it and don't go back to it. And then they realize, oh shit, like there was more to it than just plugging in a miner and walking away.
Investments, that's a lot of another people. A lot of people did investments, and they basically invested in these things, and then they came back 3 months later and all this shit changed. Oh yeah, we did a coin swap, or we did. You're fucked. I'm sorry,
Dude,
you're
I'm
outside
stuck
of.
with some Psy and Dai right now in my MetaMask wallet because Dai did a
Yep.
fork, and I'm like,
Yep.
I don't know what to do with this old Dai or new. Is it new Psy? I don't know which one's which.
Yeah,
All I
when they went to the multi die process, where now they've upgraded their contract to where now it's not
yeah,
just
it's my
Ethereum,
fault.
it's
I
everybody.
didn't swap it in
Yep,
time. I didn't.
yep,
I didn't
yep.
swap in time, bro. And now I'm just stuck with this Psy shit. And I'm like, well, what do I do with this? It's like a fucking shitcoin. Where's my Dai?
Yeah, that's, and then the last one is the internet radio hosting, where if a community wants to just auto replay different meetings or different musics and meetings and talk about, we actually will host a radio station, 5 terabytes worth of MP3s. They do the programming list. They can have an intro, basically a station identification. You're
That's
listening to
cool.
Merge Radio and so forth. It's actually really cool to have a radio station.
That would
It's
be
a
a
good
cool
way.
concept that Merge could do. Maybe Merge should have a radio show and just do it as a proof of concept. A lot of projects need to
We do.
build things. Oh, okay, there you go. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
projects have to build things on top of their thing to point at and be like, well, look, this is what we built on top of us. You can do this too. Like, this is how it applies.
Channel inside that channel, you're listening to the radio.
Yep,
So
it
while you,
looks like the internet keeps chopping up, but I feel like we covered so much. Do you want to wrap things up? Like final thoughts? You want to say anything that we didn't cover, or ask me anything at all?
I Ken, you're a stand-up guy. I 100%, and I
Appreciate you.
appreciate your apology. And you know what? That means a lot in this community. Is when you're a dick, like some people that I think there. But anyway,
Be yourself,
so
buddy.
you know, that's the difference between the people that are here to make themselves in this community, because they know that if they burn people, it's not you're not gonna last. And that's one thing I have to say, Ken. You're an awesome guy, and I appreciate it. And I will retract whatever I said online.
Oh, you better keep that shit up, bro. I appreciate it. No, seriously. I mean, a couple weeks ago, somebody had 4chan come in and just troll my live stream, and it was one of the most entertaining things. And I don't know. People always ask like, "How do you handle troll?" I'm like, do it love. Like you troll the trolls back, and
Respectful.
yeah,
Respectful.
exactly, yeah, exactly.
Don't say, dude, I saw your mother or shit like
Right,
that. I mean,
exactly.
you just
Stay in the lane. If the troll brings it up, it's fair game. But it's with any insult of love and injury, right? It's a jab and poke situation, not an uppercut.
It is, exactly, and that's what I think a lot of these people in this community don't realize, is that you control people and be respectful and still basically give your basically prove your point.
Yep.
And that's in essence, that's being human. That's having reality to your personality.
Bitcoin Jake said I need to change my thumbnail. Oh shit! All right, I'll check that out, Bitcoin Jake. Appreciate the heads up. I have no clue what the thumbnail is. I hope it isn't something inappropriate, knowing my damn folders. All right, guys. So
Love
go
you guys.
ahead and
Peace out.
check out Merge and drop comments in the comments section. I want to know what you guys think of this. Escrow for services concept. Like, again, like, imagine having 10 Nike stocks and every month you get rewarded with a pair of Nike shoes. I mean, it's not far-fetched to think, but it's just so far outside the norm wheelhouse because these tools didn't exist. We couldn't figure out how to build the things that we can build now. So let me see what you guys think in the comments below. Much appreciated, and have a day.
Later.
Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like SoMe.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review. Available for Android and iOS devices. bravocoin.com. CoinFlip, the world's best Bitcoin ATM. Better service, better fees. Better visit coinflip.tech today. Shout